What's going on, YouTube? Good evening. It's Shaun. We're back here. It's January the 18th, 2021, a Monday. I just finished up a freaking booming day. Had a great set of visits and an awesome day, just packed wall to wall. I'm feeling great. Days like these actually make me feel much, they just make me feel much better. They're energizing, they're uplifting. So I wanted to get to it and make a payment and just keep hammering on these things. So let's get right into it. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Leave some comments. Let me know if you made some payments over the weekend or if you worked on anything. Okay, we're going to get in here to my account right now. Let me show you where we are. So today I'm at 273,460. You'll see that my payments from last week did clear. And just to catch you up to speed, we are paying currently on student loan number 3. We're going to take a nice little bite out of this tonight. We'll do a $200 payment. And that right there eats up a substantial portion of my interest for the week already. So we're going to pay that. For those of you that are just checking in for the first time, my student loan interest accumulates about $45 a day, and that works out to $315 or so per week. So that's the minimum that I've been working to pay for the last month or two, as I've been ratcheting up my efforts here to get these loans moving. If this is your first time visiting, my loans hit an all-time high of $283,500. Oh, sometime like last year. And something in my guts finally said, no more. They're not going to grow anymore. And I'm going to turn this thing around. And so I have. I have now lowered them over $10,000 in probably 6 months. And so that was a great start. And now we're just going to hammer it much harder. Like I'm just going to keep hammering these things. We are going to make them go away. So that's how you do it. It's daily discipline, exercised out over a long period of time and not burning out, just staying to it. Make the payments, be consistent, keep growing my business. That's the other thing that the more disciplined I've been getting with making these payments, the more I notice that my business is growing, more new cases, better quality, higher payments, higher collections. I notice I'm hitting more and more personal bests. So building financial discipline will also help you build your business. So don't mistake it. I do believe that there isn't a coincidence there. So that's it. Tonight we dropped at $200. So what's that take me down to? We're almost into the 272s. And folks, one of my key strategies that keeps me mentally sharp and mentally motivated is I'm always just trying to move the number down. I like to see the next smallest increment. So in this case, I'm in the 273s. I just want to get to the 272s. You might focus on, if this were your loan, you might say, I want to get from the 400s to the 300s and ignore this number over here, because you have to psychologically see progress. You have to see things move. I am fortunate that I can make aggressive enough payments that not only am I able to take big chunks out of the balance in particular that I'm paying on, but now I'm focused on not only moving the balance here, but also moving the balance down on the overall principal as well. And that's something that I didn't start out with. Originally, I just started paying like it would have been last November, I would say, November of 19. I made the decision that I was going to start paying on my student loans. I didn't feel like I had the income. I didn't feel like I was in a position to do it, but I simply said, I'm going to start paying on these. Even if the principal balance continues to grow, I'm at least going to start paying on the two smallest balances and see if I can get those paid off. And they were right around $2,700 when I got started. And I use that as a way to build the muscle and build the discipline to essentially just get used to this idea that this money isn't mine. I need to make payments frequently. And the more frequently I make them, the better it feels. And the better it feels, the better the progress feels, and the more progress I make. So now I feel like I'm in a much better groove in terms of getting these to move. And I have a better understanding and grasp of the magnitude of what kind of money I need to make and what kind of payments I need to make in order to really eat these things up fast. So you're going to watch over the next 2.5 months. I'm going to make this loan disappear. And then we're just going to start pounding away at each one. I want this one gone. I want this one gone. And I want this one gone. That's my goal. I want all 4 of these gone by the end of this year. So you watch. I'm going to make it happen. We're going to make income appear out of thin air. Cases are going to find me. All the money I need to make this is going to show up in my bank account, and I'm going to earn this, and I'm going to feel great about it. And we're going to have 4 loans left. And then that's when I think I'm going to make another move. I may end up refinancing. That's another consideration, is that I could get these interest rates down to 2-point-something%. And I'm now starting to really feel the confidence that, okay, like I'm going to be able to do this. So I just need to start. I need to refinance these sooner than later. I don't need safety nets. What I need to do is get them paid off and get this interest out of my life. And right now, the interest is like $1,400 a month. And so I'd much rather see that going to principal than just being wasted away on interest. So I will likely end up refinancing at some point. I'd like to get all of my compounding interest paid off, and I'd like to get my basically, if I get the compounding interest paid off, then I can refinance them without tacking that compounding interest onto the principal balance. That's my primary concern, and that's one of the things they don't explain to you with these loans, is that if you do refinance, if you use forbearance or a deferment, they will tack on any of the compounding interest that's been accumulating in this other pile that you don't see. It's always accruing, and it has to do with your income-based repayment, that you're gaining interest on the true payment that you're supposed to be making, but you're making this smaller payment based on your income, but the interest is still accruing. And it's goofy. It's goofy math that I can't pretend to understand. But all I know is that it accumulates in a separate category. And if you ever use any of those benefits, like income-based or like changing your payment plan, forbearance, deferment, or heaven forbid you default, then all of that interest is compounded that month. So I have on 3 different occasions I've used a month of forbearance like 3 different times. I was advised by the Navient call center when I spoke to them to use forbearance because I was dealing with issues with my income-based repayment and I needed to get the paperwork worked out. And they assured me that that was fine. I could use income-based, or I could use the forbearance. I had 60 months allowed over the course of my loan, and I'd only, I hadn't used any. So they assured me it would be fine. It's no big deal. They lied, and they will lie to you. They don't tell you that, oh, interest will capitalize, and all of that interest that's been accumulating in this other column will get tacked onto your principal. So I think I used it 3 times. And each time it tacked on like $14,000 or $15,000. And you can say, oh my God, you're an idiot. How did you not notice? Well, I'll tell you how I didn't notice. I was in such denial of these loans. I wouldn't even look at the balances. I never would look them over. I just didn't look at them. I was too scared to look at them. So I'm in a completely different headspace. And after 11 and a half, almost 12 years in practice, I'm in a completely different mindset that I can do this. I can pay these off. I can live on nothing. I don't need anything in the world. There's nothing there's nothing materialism wise that I want. I want more than anything to be debt free, and that's what I'm working towards. So follow along in the journey. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know that you'll get a notification every time I make one of these videos, and follow along. I hope that these videos will inspire you to take some action on your loans and not wait. Don't do what I did. Don't wait 10 years. don't believe the lie that somebody's going to come along and save you. I truly believe no one's coming. And I finally came to that realization. For the last 10 years, I've sworn to myself, someone's going to come along and change this, and it's going to be okay, and I'll be just fine. And you know what? No, I'm 40 years old. I can't buy a home. I'm deeply in debt. And I go, no, this doesn't work for me. And I don't have any other debts. Like, I have a very small car payment, and I have no credit cards or anything like that. So I've cut all that crap out of my life. The truck I drive is a 15, 16-year-old truck. I pay a couple $100, a few $100 for a car payment. And I mean, I could attack that ahead of these. I just don't care because the interest on it's low, and it's not my goal. Like, the car is not something hindering me at all. It doesn't even affect even if I had the car paid off, the $400 a month car payment, even that, it really doesn't make a big difference on these loans in the lifespan of what the chunks I need to take out of them. I'm going to be taking, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 bites out of this thing at a time every time I can. And that's how I'm going to move the needle and make giant changes. It's not going to be the little car payments, but these little base hits that I make every day, the $50 payments, the $100 payments, the $200 payments, even $200, that's a pretty juicy payment for a Monday. And today's a holiday. It's Martin Luther King. So banks are closed. It's, that feels good. That's a good pace. And when you work that out and you say, well, if I made a $200 payment every day, what would that do? I tell you, you pay off a lot of debt. So get to it, you guys. Pay something, make it happen, and get started. Don't put this off. You guys have a great night. I'll be back tomorrow. See ya.